CA and IT. பிரின்சிபல் ஆஃப்ல இருக்காரு.
அனுஷா மேடம் உங்க கிளாஸ் சேர்த்து வச்சுறேன்னு சொல்றாங்க. கமெண்ட் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. மேடம்
குட் மார்னிங் மேம்.
2 minutes வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க மேம். குட் மார்னிங் மேம். மேம் 2 minutes வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க. பிரின்சிபல் சார் லைன்ல வராரு மேம். தேங்க்யூ மேம்.
மேம் சொல்லுங்க மேம். ஓகேப்பா. ஓகே. தேங்க்யூமா. சார் வந்துட்டாங்களா? அவங்களை அது குட் மார்னிங் சொல்லலையே நான். மேம் சார் வந்துட்டாங்களா? சார் ஓகே. ஏன்னா அவங்கள நான் விஷ் பண்ணலையா, அதனாலதான். ஓகே. சுந்தரி மேம்.
மேம் சொல்லுங்க மேம். குட்
மார்னிங் சார்.
அந்த பிரின்சிபல் சார் வந்துட்டாரு மேம்.
குட் மார்னிங் சார்.
Good morning. Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Over to Sundari.
Welcome to everyone. Now I request our Dr. PSS Aklashri madam to welcome address.
Good morning, sir. Your presence is a pleasure. It's my pleasure to propose this welcome address. I welcome our dynamic principal, Dr. Sundaraman sir, our principal, who is always behind our endeavor and used to motivate us each and every time. I welcome you, sir. I also welcome today's chief guest, Dr. Karpagavati Madam, Associate Professor, Holy Cross College. We are happy to have you as a chief guest for this meeting, ma'am. I welcome you. I also welcome Associate Professor Sundari Madam, Vice President of this association, for arranging this meeting. I welcome you. I also welcome my staff members, that is my colleague of computer science department, who were working for past 2 days for arranging this meeting. I also welcome my dear students of computer science department, information technology and BCA department of second years for their active participation. Thank you. And once again, I welcome our principal sir and the chief guest. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Now I request our principal sir, Dr. Sundaraman sir, to deliver the presidential address.
Respected resource person, Dr. Karpagavati, Head of the Department and Vice Principal, Dr. Akilashri, Vice President, Madam P. Sundari, faculty members of Department of Computer Science, and my dear students. Good morning to everybody. Python is a word that baffles me. It is a type of snake, but I understand that in computer science, Python is powerful general purpose programming language. It is very popular nowadays and widely used in web development, data science, creating software, prototypes, and so on. Fortunately, for beginners, Python has simple, easy to use syntax. This makes Python an excellent language to learn to program for beginners. Van Rossum thought he needed a name that was short, unique, and slightly mysterious. So he decided to call the language Python. It is simpler than other programming languages like C, C++, and Java. I am very happy to know that our chief guest, a great expert, has chosen this highly useful topic. I am doubly happy to note that Madam is a BCom graduate. She has pursued her passion and got a PhD in computer science. As a commerce professor, I am really proud of you. I take this opportunity to appreciate and congratulate Dr. Karpagavati in her remarkable achievement. I am pleased to welcome our esteemed chief guest. My hearty appreciation to the Department of Computer Science, which is always working hard for the welfare of the students. I request my dear students to make the best use of the deep knowledge of the expert on Python. Best wishes you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir. And I think our principal has said more about Python, and rough introduction has been given by our principal. Students, you know very well, Python is an unstructured language. It finds its application in big data analytics. We can also use in deep learning, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So at present, the current trend, Python plays a vital role in all the application. Everything was briefed by our principal. And now, over to Sundari. You can introduce the chief guest. Sundari.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Today, our chief guest, Dr. N. Karpagavati madam, completed BCom, MCA, MPhil, PhD, and working as an assistant professor and system administrator in Holy Cross College, Trichy from 1991 to 2017. At present, Madam working as an assistant professor. Madam's subject expertise is programming language C, C++, Java, ASP, PHP, and Python. Data structures and algorithm, computer network, data mining, web technology, and mobile computing. And also, Madam developed softwares for admission processing system and student details maintaining purpose. And then, Madam maintained the softwares for payable preparation and income tax calculations also. Madam published papers in 2 international journals, 4 international conferences, and 15 national conferences also. And Madam participated in 2 international seminars, 5 international conferences, and 16 national conferences, and 4 national workshops, and 8 in-house workshops. Now, it's a great time to hand over this webinar session to our chief guest. Madam, please, Madam.
Thank you, ma'am. A warm and graceful morning to Sri K. Raghunathan, Secretary, National College, Dr. R. Sundararaman, Principal, National College, Dr. Agila Sri, Head and Vice Principal, National College, Ms. P. Sundari, Assistant Professor and Vice President of Association Meeting, National College, and my dear students of PG Research Department of Computer Science, I welcome and happy morning to one and all gathered here. First, I thank the Almighty God for giving me the opportunity to present the webinar today in the topic and exposure in multi-paradigm language Python. Students, you can learn something new every day if you listen. So please be smart and enthusiastic in the webinar and make it work. Shall I share my presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it viewable my screen? Can you view my screen? Ma'am?
Yes, Madam.
So in this session,
Yes, Madam. You can proceed, ma'am.
okay. So in this session, we will see in detail about Python, that means fundamental concept of Python, along with the paradigm concepts. So what is the learning objective of this session? To understand the components of Python and make fundamentals of writing Python scripts. So first you must know what is programming paradigm. Programming paradigm is a style, it's a technique or way of writing program. Then we can say that it's a fundamental style of computer programming. Programming in the paradigm differ in the concepts and methods to represent the elements of program. That means, what are the elements of program? We can say that objects, functions, variable, constraints. I think you already studied in the first year itself in the C and CPP. So you well known about what is object, what is function, what is variable, and what are the constraints are using. And also steps that comprise a computation. So here, for example, we can say that we can travel from Trichy, from Main Guard Gate to Junction. We can have lot of paths are available. We can have lot of routes are available. Even though lot of routes are available means we can select best route and shortest route to travel one place to another place. Just like here also, we can fit more naturally to specific paradigm in the programming language. Next, history of programming language. So normally in the 1978, the concept of programming paradigm was developed. Then in the lowest level programming, that means we can say that machine code. In 1960, assembly language were developed and followed by the procedure oriented language, then followed by the scripting languages also. Lot of languages, more languages are developed. Still we are developing, that means the software developers are developing lot of languages. Now we are in the object oriented along with script languages for the dynamic website creation. Then we can say that what is imperative programming paradigm? That means it can use as a statements that can change the program state. So normally, an imperative program consists of commands for the computer to perform. That means we can describe how to write the program, details of how. That means how to give the input, how to get the output, then how to control the program, and so on. We can give it in the imperative programming styles. That means here we can use assignment statements and global variables to store the data and to manipulate the data and so on. So imperative programming paradigm examples are C, CPP, Java, Python, PHP, Ruby, etc. Next, declarative programming paradigm. So this is one of the style of building the structure and elements of computer program. This one can focus on the program should accomplish. That means declarative paradigm is a non-imperative style programming language. It can tell the computer what is the problem. Then system only decide which steps to take and also in which sequence of steps they have to follow up. So here, difference between imperative and declarative is imperative says how to do it and declarative says what to do. அதாவது imperative எப்படி செய்யணும், declarative என்ன பண்ண போறோம், எப்படி செய்ய போறோம் அந்த மாதிரி. So here we can follow some logical computation statement and we can use the control flow of program. Program sequence statements இந்த ஆர்டர்ல கொடுக்கணும், இப்படி கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னு செய்யறோம் இல்லையா, அதான். So for that we can say the example SQL, structured query language, and XSQL and XMSQL. Then functional programming paradigm. It's a subset of declarative programming. That means here we can use a function and block of codes to use a mathematical function, just like the mathematical function. Here, example, we can say the example Python, Ruby, JavaScript, and so on. Then object-oriented programming paradigm. Here, the concept is based upon the object. Here we can use the class-based concept. So whenever you use a class-based, we can say that is objects or instance of classes. So here we can give the example for this: C++, C#, Java, PHP, and Python. So here now we another one. Now we are in the multi-paradigm. So Python is the one of the multi-paradigm language. Why we can say that is a multi-paradigm means here object-oriented concept. We can use the combination of imperative and procedural programming concept. So now it's one of the common, most familiar language. Already Principal Sir discussed, gave the address, presidential address. That time itself, Sir gave the important points about Python. So I don't want to repeat the same points once again. So here now we will move to the Python programming. So Python is a general purpose. It's an interpreted language. It's an object-oriented language. Then we can say that it's a beginner's language. These points are discussed by Sir itself. So here we can say that the Python is an interpreted scripting language and we can employ inherits object-oriented approach. History of Python. That means the Python was developed from 1989 onwards. Developed by Guido van Rossum. Here, why we can call this the Python. The name of the Python came from Monty Python Circus. This was broadcasted in BBC from 1969 to 1974. The Python have the lot of features from the different languages. That means from the C language, CPP, then scripting language, then modular programming concept, modulo 3. Then most of the syntax in Python derived from C and ABC languages. Students, can you follow up my concept? Students? Ma'am? Sundari ma'am? Sundari ma'am? Hello? Hello, can you follow up? Okay, where we can use Python? We can use everywhere. That means for the developing desktop application, for developing web application, database application, networking concept, to develop the game programs, data analysis application, machine learning, cloud computing, and IoT concept. In nowadays, now we are in artificial intelligence, so we can use a concept in the artificial intelligence application also. In some words, here some of the disadvantages also available in Python. That means performance wise, it's a slower worker, so slower than C and CPP, because of it doesn't check the variable type during the compilation time. It's a dynamic type, so flexible that Python interpreter cannot check the type mismatch. Then, who are all use the Python today? Google, then popular YouTube, Dropbox storage services, Raspberry Pi single board computer, widespread BitTorrent, then Google's app engines, Maya in the 3D animation itself, Intel, Cisco, Hewlett Packard, Seagate, Qualcomm, and IBM. Then NASA, Los Alamos, Fermilab, JPL, all are using for the scientific concept. It's a very familiar and easier concept. That's why now we are using. What is the difference between program and scripting language? A program is executed. That means it can be compiled and result of compilation is expected. But scripting language, we need not. A script is interpreted. A script code is written in a scripting language. A program in general is a sequence of instructions that a computer can perform certain tests. Here, a scripting language is nothing but a type of programming language in which code to control another software application. Here we can say that Python interfaces. So one of the interface, lot of interfaces are available. Here IDLE is one of the cross-platform Python development environment. You can use the IDLE. You can install in your system and do the practicals. You can do the Python programs. Then we can use a Python Win. We can use a Python shell. Then IDLE. This is a sample concept, sample screenshot. So here we are using the Python multi-commands, Python commands. Normally, whenever you write the program, first you have to use the Python command statement. So the command statement can be used for the single line command statement or multi-line command statement. So here we can use just like C and CPP. Here we can use a hash symbol. But one of the difference here, whenever you use the multiple concept, we can use the multiple line statement. We can use the triple quotations. Either you can use a hash symbol each and every line, or we can use the multiple triple quotation. Then this is a sample example program, simple program. So in the IDLE. So here you have to type print hello world. The hello world is a message. The message, it should be embedded by within the quotation mark. After compile this program, you can have the message statement. Then here it's a mandatory in the Python language. You can use the parenthesis. So here that means in the olden version you need not use the parenthesis, but nowadays in the new version you have to use the parenthesis. Within parenthesis only you have to pass the parameters. You can pass the arguments. For next concept in the uh, Python programming, we have to use the block of statements. That means you should use the indentation. So what is the indentation? To identify the block, so we can use the indentation. That means normally in C++, Java and so on, you can use the flower braces, curly braces to define the block. But here we need not define. Instead of this, we can use the indentation. So indentation and also we can use a white space can be used for to define the block. So you can write most indented for the each and every block. Next, you already studied what is variable. Here also the same concept in the CPP, C and Java, wherever, whatever programming language, whatever application, same concept. Here also we can say that variable. Variable can hold the data, can refer the memory location. So here we can use Python is one of the case sensitive. That means lower case is different, upper case is different. For example, RAJA is the name of the person. It's a small RAJ is different, capital RAJ is different. Then here we can say that identifier also. Okay, so identifier is nothing but we can identify the literals whenever you use in the program. Here we have to use the same rules, just like the C++, C and C rules. We have to follow it here also. Next, here the keywords are differ in the Python. So here these are all the keywords. 32 keywords are available. So here these set of keywords are already developed by the software engineers. We can't redefine the keywords in your programming concept. Okay, here we can use the Boolean concept either true or false. That time you can use the true and false. Suppose if you don't have any value, in the whoops concept, we can use the null pointer, we can use the void concept. Just like here, we can use the none. Then we can use the or logical operator to return the condition is either this or not. Then we can use a data type. Okay. So here, data type is nothing but the kind of data. You can store the data in your computer program. Okay. So you can normally in the C program, CPP program, you have to define the data type. Then only you can assign the variable, assign the value, or you can assign the variable. But here we can assign the data in the dynamic manner. So in the Python is dynamically typed language. Hence, we need not define the variable along with the data type. This is the difference between C, CPP and Python. So this is a sample example. This example I will execute in the online Python compiler itself. So here you can compile your Python program by using the online Python compiler itself. That means from programiz.com. So here you can type the program. So here already the program is available. To execute the program, okay, you can have the resultant value. That means in the programming concept, the message is hello world. This statement is called the print statement to display the message. Now I am going to display data type. So for that, I use a is equal to 10. So here 10 is the value. This value is assigned to the variable a. Then hi Python is a string value. This value is assigned to the memory variable b. Then C is equal 10.5. So now I am going to print the values. So by using the type. So here, when you run it, you can have the resultant value on the screen itself. Here is the Python compiler. You can have the resultant value. So here, what happened? You can have the data type of this program. So here, type of A is integer data type. Then B is a string data type. Then C holds the float data value. So you can have the type statement, type method to print the data type of this program. So next concept, standard data types. Okay, so here in the Python language itself, some difference. This is a standard data type. Here, numeric. The numeric consists of integer, complex number, and float. Then dictionary, Boolean, set, sequence type. So these are all Python data type. Then further, sequence type can be classified as strings, list, tuple. Next concept. Now we will move to the how to define the number, how to define the numeral values in your program. For this, now we will see the programming concept. Students, can you follow up?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So here,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So here in this
Okay.
example, here I assign the value 5 to the memory variable A. So here you can have the type of the A is integer. Then B holds floating value. So we can have the floating value is 40.5. So float. Then another new concept in Python, it is differ when you compare with other programming languages. Here we can use the type of C. That means we can define the complex data type. So dynamically it can define the values. That time we can use here 1 plus 3j is a complex number. So for that time you can have the class is complex class. Then another one is we can check whether the number is complex number or not. So for that we can use the class name, method name is instance. So here the is instance 1 plus the 3j. That means you assign the value in the C. So if it is complex number, you can have the printed messages. C is the complex number. So these are all the data type concept. That means for the numeral. Next concept, we can define the string. So we can define the sequence of type of string. So for that, so here we are using the string. So whenever you assign the string value, you should be embedded within the double quotation mark. So next concept, here we can use the triple quotation mark for the multi-line of string. So here in this example, you can see that S is equal to a multi-line is the first line, then second line holds the string. So now we are going to print a multiple line of statement. So print S. Then we assign the statement National College. National College, name of the college, we assign to the memory variable str1. Then another string, we assign Python. This word assigned to string 2. Then here we are using the asterisk symbol and 2. That means twice the time the value can be printed. Next concept, here we are assigning the value just hello message. The hello message can coordinated with the predefined, already defined statement. That means along with the string 3. That means string 3 is a hello. Along with the string 3, we are printing the message string 1 also. That's why we can have the message resultant value here string using double quotation. That means normal information can be printed. So double quotation value. Then another one multi-line. So a multi-line is the first line, a string is the second line. So we printed the statement in the multi-line. That time you can use the quotation marks. That means triple quotation mark. Then next we can use a str1 is equal to National College. Now we are printing the name of the college. Next we are printing the Python twice the time. So that's why you can use a repetition operator. That means here in Python we are using the asterisk operator. This is different when you compare with other programming language. So asterisk operator can use to print the repetition of values. That means twice the time the value can be printed. Next, the plus symbol is used for the concatenation of the value. That means string 3 is concatenated with the string 1. This is a programming output. Next concept, we can use a string methods. So normally in C and CPP itself, you define the string method. Here also we can use a string method for that. So here, just you can type yourself. You need not install the Python in your machine during the online time, as well as there is a possibility offline also you can do it yourself. Just you copy the program and paste it and compile the program and execute the program. So if you don't have the, if you want to, you can, suppose if you don't have the laptop in your hand, you can do the same concept by using the mobile itself. So here, this is a program. Here, so in this program, hello world, we assign the string, that is within the double quotation we assign. Then here another printing statement, hello Python. Next str, hello world. Then print str. The value can be printed. So hello world, hello Python. Third one is a hello world. Now we have to print the value, index value. It starts from the 0 onwards. So the same concept here also in array. Whenever you assign the array value, the indexing starts from 0 onwards. So string 0. That means the first character can be printed. So which is the first character? H is the first character. Next, now I want to print the value from the second character to until the fifth character. So I want to print 5 characters. That means, so here I can apply the range. So this operator, this colon operator is called as a size operator. This is a different. Here you can use slice operator to print number of characters from the string itself. Okay, from which portion itself I have to print? From the second character. So that's why, which one is the second character? 0 is a H, E is the first, L is the second character. So I can have the value LLO, then world. Okay, next concept, I can print just a second, then put the colon. That means the rest of, from the second onwards, it can print all the values. Next, I can do the values repeatedly. I already discussed you. Twice a time I have to print. So str asterisk of 2. That means second value, the 2 second position word can be printed once again. Next concept, print str test. Here we can print the concatenation operator along with the string. The value can be added, test can be added. Next, I am going to print. I can change the uppercase character. I can change it to lowercase character. Then I can check whether the character is lower or whether the string consists of digit or not. So that time I can use some string built-in function. Here I am using title. Title is nothing but the word can be changed into here. Here, for example, now I am going to run this program. Students, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Audible, ma'am.
Okay. So here, for example, when I run this program, HAI, that is title. Title means the starting character. Whenever you start the first title word, the first character, it should be capital letter. So the first character here, lower, it can be converted into capital letter. Then upper, the characters HAI, these are all lowercase. Now it converted into uppercase. Then I am going to check whether is it true or not. Is it lower or upper? Now I am using the is lower, so it can have the lower value, so it can print the value as true. Then is it digit? No, it is not a digit. It consists of string. So whenever you assign W quotes, you can say that it's a string. So the value is here false. This is the output for this program. Next, another data type, another object in Python. It's a different concept when you compare to other programming languages. Here we can use a list. So here, this is here in the list concept. Okay, here in the list contains values. It can be separated by commas. It should be square bracket. Normally, whenever you use a C program, C++ program, Java, and so on, you can use a square bracket to define the array. Same thing here also, we have to get the element. We can assign the element within the square bracket. Okay, but here there is a difference. Here we can have different type of data types in an array. So here integer, float, string, these are all different data types we assign. So that's why here I assign the values. Here, assign the values in the name of the list. It has Hamrish, then value 555 6.23. It's a float value. This is a string. Then once again I am using the float value. So here I am using the print by using the list data type. So list 2. 2 means what? First one is the Hamrish 0th position. Then first one is a 555. Then list 2. List 2 means you can have the value as 45.6. So here, whenever you use a list concept, so here in a Python programming, it's created by placing all the items in the dynamic manner. So you can have the different, the sequence can be changed one to another. So here the values are, so first 2 means you can have the 6.23. That is first is Hamrish, 0 is a Hamrish, 1 is a 555, 2 is 6.2.3. Then 4 is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is a Nilashri. Then list 3. Third one is the which value? Nilashri. Then fourth one is the list 0. List 0 is nothing but the first value is the Hamrish. So it can print the indexing value. Next concept, tuples. So tuple is nothing but it's iterable arrays of objects. So here tuples are immutable. Once created, it's not changeable. You can't change it. It's similar to the list. Whenever you use a Python program, similar to the list. But here there is a difference. Here it's an optional concept parenthesis. But good programmer should use the parenthesis whenever you use different type of data types in a single argument passing area. You can use the tuple concept. Here, where we can use that to define the tuples, to define the country name, to define the land use codes, to define the ordered set of function, we can use the tuples concept. Here in this example, here in this example, my tuple, this is, it consists of 1, 2, 3. 3 values I assigned. So now I am going to print the values. So print my tuple. What happened? You can have 1, 2, 3. Next, I can have the different type of mixed data type. Here all are same data type, but here I am assigned as a different data type. That means 1 is an integer, 2 is a national college is a string, then float data type. Now I am printing the function print my tuple. So you can have the value. Next concept, you can have any number of items within the array concept itself in this tuple itself. So here Amrish is a string. Here I assign the array concept 8, 4, 6. Here I assign the 1, 2, 3. So here you can use the either square bracket or you can use the ordinary parenthesis also. This is the resultant value when you execute this program. Next, another data type, dictionaries. So dictionary is an unordered set of lists. This is also not available in C, CPP, but here we are using the unordered concept to define the dictionary. Okay, it is also one of the associative of array. Here we can use for the data structure concept, we can use the hash table. For each and every key can store the specific values. That time we can use the dictionary concept. Now you are studying the data structure in your programming concept. That time you can use the string dictionaries for the sorting of the concept, hash table concept, link program, and so on. Okay, so here we assign print D holds the sum of the value. So here I assign 1. 1 is nothing but is a value. Then sorry, 1 is the index number. Then 1 holds the value as Jimmy, 2 holds the value as Alex, 3 holds value as John, 4 holds the value Mike. So here the 1 is nothing but it's a key. Then Jimmy is nothing but value. So this is a different to other programming language. So you can use the arbitrary Python object by using the dictionary. So whenever you use the arbitrary concept, the dictionary concept, the dictionaries are separated by the comma, then you can use the open parenthesis and flower braces, curly braces, you can use it. This is the output. So you can have the 1 Jimmy, 2 Alex. So for example, print D dot keys. What will print? That means D is nothing but its object. This the function can return the value. The D returns the value key. So key is nothing but, so that means key values can be print. What are the key values? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are our key values. Now I am going to print values. So for that I am using Jimmy, Alex, D dot values. You can have the resultant value, the parameter values. So here you can use the keys and values to define the indexing key and to return the parameter values. Next concept, Boolean. So in Python, we can use the same CCPP Java, just like true or false, we can use it. But whenever you use, before that you have to use the class type class. Then we can use a set. So set is the order of element. It's undefined. It may return the changed sequence of elements. So when you execute the program, the sequence can be changed during the execution of the program. The sequence can be changed. Here I assign the value set is equal to null value. Okay. Now second parameter, second variable can hold values Karpagam 765 Karpagavalli. So now I am going to print the values. So you can have this value. Next, I can adding the element to the set. I already assigned the set. So set to have the one value. Now I added one more value. So the one more value is added as 2020. 2020 is added in between the 65 and 70. Because of this is a dynamic concept, during the execution time, the value can be added by using the set concept. Set is the one of the built-in function. then I can use a remove statement. So that means here I assign the value can be deleted by using the remove statement. So remove is the one of the built-in statement. So the 7 can be remove it. Then you can have the resultant value. Next concept, you can add the two numbers. This is a simple program. You can add the two values. So whenever you add the two values, you can assign state. You can use the assignment statement. So here I assign the value is equal to 1, value 2 is equal to something, and so on. Now I am going to add the values. Normally when you write the C and CPP, just you can write A plus B. But here we have to use the float. That means in the dynamically we have to do it. So that's why we have to mention the type in the computation statement. Then where you can print the same value. So that means some value 3 plus val 4. You can print the values. Next concept, you can adding the two numbers by using the input statement. So here this program I will execute. That means now I am going to get the value from the user. Until we discussed about assignment statement and display the value, now I am going to get the values from the user and print the values. So for the purpose, here by using the input statement, we can use the normally whenever you execute the C program, C++ program, you can use it. So here, here what is the mistake? Here invalid index. That means I remove the hash symbol. That means hash symbol is used for to make the comment statement. Okay. So here the command in the command prompt, in this prompt, user will prompt the values. So now I assign the value as 6. So what happened? Enter the first number is 1. Okay. Then you can assign the so enter the first number. Some problem is occurred. Okay. So sorry. So here I can have the first number and second number. After that, I can have the sum of the value. Then it can print the sum value. By using here next program, I can swap the value. That means I can interchange the values. That time here. Here. So in this program, so I have to pass the value for the x. So x value is 8. Then I have to pass the value for y. So y value is 5. Now the value is interchange one to another. So here this concept you can use for the temporary variable. So instead of using swapping function, so whenever you use a swap function, you have to use the import library. Instead of using import library, we can use a temporary variable and swap the values. So here, so that's why I assign temp is equal to x. Now x is equal to nothing. So I have to replace the value. So y can hold to the value x. Now I am going to print the temporary variable. So y is equal to temp. So temp is equal to x, y is equal to x is equal to y is equal to temp. So just you have to swap the value, replace the value one to another. Afterwards, I can use in the print statement, we can use a format also. Here another one of the new concept, dot. You can use a dot operator. Then you can use a format class. Then within parentheses, you can pass the parameter. So format of x, then format of y. So it can return the value. So this is the example for format statement, and also this is the example for to store the temporary variables. Next concept, what is a function? So now you well known what is function. That means user can define our own function, and also we can use a built-in function statement. So function is nothing but it's a group of related statement. Okay, so here I use the def. So whenever you use the user can define the function, you have to use the keyword def. Def, define the function. The name of the function is add numbers. Then within the parameter you have to pass the arguments. So here I assign the computation statement, sum is equal to x plus y. So this function can be returned by the sum. So here this print function, here I assign the value num1 is equal to x5, num2 is equal to 6. So 5 can be passed to x, 6 can be passed to y. Then afterwards it can return the calculation. After calculation it can return sum. This statement comes to this function. So number calling function for that. Here we can print the value num1, num2. So this is the user defined function concept. Next, another example program. Here we are using the control structure concept. So in the normal programming language, you can use a control statement. Same concept here also we can use all the control statement, if else if statement, if else statement, nested if statement. Then we can use a looping statement, for loop, while loop, for in each. These are the control structure statements. Okay, here this is the example to find the number is odd or even. So I assign the function. So here I use the parameters. Here I am using the modulo operator too. That means to calculate the remainder value. So after find out the remainder value is 0, it can return 1. Otherwise, else means here you have to use the colon. So normally whenever you use the programming concept, whenever you use if for loop and so on, you have to use the curly braces. But here, instead of curly braces, we assign the statement colon mark. So this is the block of statement. So yes, then also we have to assign the colon mark. So here we need to define the terminator semicolon. Instead of we can use the enter key. So the enter key can be used as a terminator one line to another. Next concept, in the Python concept, we can use the modules also. So modules means already designed the developed library. We can import it, we can inherit, because of Python is an object oriented and script language. So you can inherit all the modules, all the classes, and from the library itself. That time we can use a module concept. Okay. Next one, files. Here also we can use the file handling concept. We can read the values, we can append the values, we can write the values, we can remove the values. All the read line, that is sequential file concept, random file concept, can be used in the Python itself. Ma'am, shall I continue? Hello?
Ma'am, shall I continue with the example?
Madam, continue பண்ணலாம் madam. ஒரு 10 minutes continue பண்ணுங்க.
Okay, okay. One more program I will show how to define the class. So this is a sample program to define the class. Because of now we are using the object oriented concept. So in this class program, I used all the control statements along with some built-in functions. So I have to enter the string. Syntax error, file statement line 1. That means sorry. So here the compiler problem, the program doesn't execute. Just I will give the explanation for this program. The same program you can execute in the C. So here we have to define the class. The name of the class is string. Here we have to use the definition. So whenever use a class program, within class we can define our own function. So by using the def keyword, def keyword, we have to use and initialize the values. Okay. Here we are using the parameter. Here we are creating the object also self. So we can convert uppercase function, uppercase, lowercase, vowels, consonants, spaces, string. We have to compute the values for the uppercase, number of uppercase characters, lowercase, and assign 0. Now we have to check whether the character is upper or lower. Here for this, here I am using if condition. If it is upper, it can use the uppercase plus is equal to 1. So then I can use the lowercase characters. Then I can use the AUIOU that for vowels concept. Then I can here I use the consonants. That means here instead of using AEIOU vowels, we can use the to print the vowel concept. If it is character is not capital A, small a, and so on, the remaining characters can be printed. So these are all the built-in function. So this is a sample program for to define the class. Here I am using the method names. That means get string, execute, and display. These are all the methods. This to print the display, to print the execute function, then to print the get string. Wait 1 second, I will verify it. Correct. So the problem solved. Here the given string contains 0 upper characters. That means welcome all are small case, small letters. So I can have the 0 uppercase. Here all the letters are lowercase character. So I am using the 7 lowercase characters. Then vowels. How many vowels here? A, E, I, O, U to find out. So for that, here only 3 characters. The remaining rest of vowels, we can print the values, that is consonants. Then we can identify number of spaces. Here in this string, I didn't assign any spaces in between the word. So I can have the no white spaces. So I can have the 0 spaces. So just like you can execute the class program also. Then another example, you can by using the Python, you can draw the chart. You can draw it's a very important concept. Suppose during the 3rd year, you can do the project. That time you can choose the Python programming concept. It's familiar and is very user friendly. Suppose if you don't know the concept how to write the program in C and CPP, but you can easy to learn yourself in the Python concept. நீங்களா படிச்சு நீங்களா எழுதிக்கலாம், நீங்களே ப்ராஜெக்ட் பண்ண முடியும். I will give the assurance to you. You can able to do you. Okay. So நீங்க தேர்ட் இயர் பண்ணும்போது நீங்க என்ன பண்ணலாம், பைத்தான்ல ப்ராஜெக்ட் செலக்ட் பண்ணலாம். பண்ணும்போது so you data analytics concept யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கீங்க. So data you can analyze. Nowadays now we are using the in all the areas we are using the artificial intelligence concept. So now itself you have to develop yourself. ஸோ அதனால என்ன பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னா, சும்மா ஒரு சின்ன உங்க ஸ்டூடெண்டோட டேட்டாவே எடுத்துக்கோங்க. அந்த டேட்டாவை யூஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம் இந்த மாதிரி ப்ரோக்ராம் போட்டுப்பாரு. இதுக்கு வந்து மேட்லிப்னு ஒரு ஃபைல் இருக்கும். அந்த லிப் ஃபைலை யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா யூ கேன் ட்ரா த சார்ட் ஆல்சோ. யூ கேன் கம்பேர் த வேல்யூஸ் இன் த கிராஃபிக்கல் ரெப்ரசன்டேஷன் இட் செல்ஃப். ஸோ ஆர்டினரி ஸ்டூடெண்ட் டேட்டா பேஸ் எடுத்துக்கோ, அதை யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கோ. ஸோ இந்த டேட்டா பேஸை எப்படி கனெக்ட் பண்ணுவோம்னு யூ கேன் ஆஸ்க் த கொஸ்டின். ஃபார் தட் ஆல்சோ யூ கேன் யூஸ் த MySQL concept. By using the MySQL concept, you can develop, you can combine your program. So yeah, you can use a chart also. You can prepare that chart by using the matplotlib. So this file you have to import in your programming concept. It is simple code only. Here you can use a line space. Okay, then you can use the x-axis value and y-axis value. Then after that you can identify the sign value. You can find out the explanation value. Then you can draw the diagram by using the plot operator to plot x comma y. Then you can show the values. Simple concept only. Okay, you can have the diagrammatical representation, graphical representation by using the Python also. Then you can use the SQL statement, SQL concept also. So here it's not enough time. Otherwise, if we don't have enough time, so I can't execute the program. So I am showing the output only. So here you can use a SQL table. So I think you are in the second year itself. You are going to study the SQL concept. So the same concept here you can use it. You have to create the database. Then you have to store the table. After that, you can use the select star statement. Then from the table itself, you can fetch the data by using the cursor statement. Then you can use the display the values by using the SQL concept. So in Python, you not only the computation, not only the logical concept, you can do the graphical concept also. You can visualize your data. Ma'am, is it okay? Is it enough?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, shall I proceed?
Students, can you follow my concept? Ma'am, பசங்களுக்கு புரிஞ்சுதா? பசங்ககிட்ட பேச முடியுமா?
Yes, ma'am. All are in the YouTube link, ma'am.
YouTube link. Oh.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Now it's the time for vote of thanks. Appreciation can make a day, even change a life also. Once again, good morning to all. I should be proud being a part of this institution who delivered the vote of thanks. On behalf of PG and Research Department of Computer Science, I would like to thank our Honorable Secretary, Shri K. Raghunathan sir. Thank you so much for your full support to conduct this webinar. Thank you, sir. I would like to take this opportunity to extend our most sincere thanks to our principal, Dr. R. Sundararaman, for providing encouragement and support. I would like to thank our distinguished speaker, Dr. N. Karpagavalli, for making excellent presentation and making this webinar interesting and meaningful one. I express my gratitude to Dr. P.S.S. Aklashti, Vice Principal and Head Department of Computer Science, who has been the guardianship of our department, and she is the backbone of this program. And thank you, madam. I
Thank
take
you.
this opportunity to thank our entire faculty members for their great support. My hearty thanks to all our second year BSc Computer Science, BCA and IT students, both Shift 1 and Shift 2, who makes the program a great success. Once again, I thank everyone who attended this webinar. Thank you so much.
I would also like to thank the people who worked organizing the webinar. Thank you. Students, thank you very much. Aglashti ma'am, thank you ma'am. Thank you very much.
Madam?
Thank you very much.
Instant panel, பேசிக்கலாம்.